All right, what you see me doing here is I'm adjusting my leverage level. Later on in the video, I talk about this, but it's turned into such a long video. I didn't want to edit it. It'd take forever. It'd take me like 3 hours and then blah, blah, blah. So what I did right there is I just changed my long leverage from 10x to 5.5x. I just highlighted my liquidation price got knocked all the way down from like 63,000 to 53,000. I did this. You can see the price where Bitcoin was, that red candle starting. It just did the first half of this dump. See, and it came back up off that towards that yellow line, and it turned green. See that where that's the pattern's at, and then went sideways, and it's starting to come down again. And I recognize this from last cycle, and I knew that 10x leverage was way too much, and that I had long the top, and I needed to get out. I had a short end as well, but I just wanted to mention this. This is not the start of the video. I just I had this. I recorded this a few days ago. And I was going to put this in later in the right place. So later in this video, you hear me say, "I'm going to enter this clip now," and that's this clip. I started a video with it. I don't want to sit here and edit this video for 3 hours later. This should be a really interesting video. The chart's the main thing I wanted to show you. You should chart this yourself wherever you chart stuff. Copy my chart. You're really going to enjoy this. And then I talk about my trades, and I just yammer. I go on a yammer session. I hope you enjoy it. I know there's value. I know there's a lot of value in it, but I hope you enjoy the time I took to yammer. All right, later. What's up, Bitcoin heads? I hope all is well for you today. I hope that everyone out there survived the recent crash from 67,000 down to 60,000. That was pretty wild. That gave me flashbacks of last cycle. That was looking like an old school dump. That's how they went, except for last cycle, it would just go ahead and like up here, right, start dumping from like 72, and the huge dump right here on this big wick, that's almost 17%. But last cycle, it would just go ahead and go 40%, just right. Okay, with that being said, I've been talking about this dumping for a while, and in my last video, I remember I left off talking about this breakout out the top of this green descending bullish channel right through here. It's too early, right? But this could be the one that takes us to 80,000, right? So I hate when I make videos like that, because you can't make videos long and boring. You just keep saying the same thing. Well, this and that and this, but these YouTube videos, particularly YouTube channels, if you go onto YouTube and just search Bitcoin, you'll get all these thumbnails and titles, and they're screwing with your head, and they might not realize they're doing it, but they are. They just want the clicks. They just want the clicks and the ad revenue and whatever else they're going to try to sell you and whatnot. But while I'm on that subject, I have two channels that I still watch from last year, and that's Crypto Zombie, and because I think he at least he cares. I believe he's making money. I believe he's making a lot of money, and I think he actually cares about you. And Benjamin Cowan, I'll link those down in the description. And he's like a mathematician type guy, and he's pretty good. He gets a little long-winded sometimes, but it's all right though. Just listen to what he's saying. It's pretty cool. And there's two traders that I know of. Now, this is just people I watched last year. There's people out there I don't even know about. But Jason Casper and Crypto Face, using the Market Cipher technology. And that's it. I didn't even want to talk about that. But I only watch those two because I'm not a day trader, intricate day trader. And so I'm getting long-winded myself here. I want to talk about this structure. For those of you brand new, you need to see my chart. You need to see my chart, folks. I should have led with that. Maybe I'll put a little edit in right there. I'll take this section back. You need to see this chart, folks. Flagpole. If you're brand new, my title is going to say something about you got to see my chart. You just have to see it. Yeah, you, the person that's looking at thumbnails about Bitcoin and World War III and this and that, and right? It's just I made the mistake of looking when this dumped. I made the mistake on this big red candle when it came down to 60,000, was pump up like 61, 62, pumping back up. I made the mistake of searching Bitcoin on YouTube, and I just saw all those thumbnails: war and blood, and deed and blood in the street, blood, and now with that being said, I do think Bitcoin is probably going to still come down from here, but I'll talk about that here in a second. But anyways, yeah, lots of people, right? They're kind of just on a side note, I think they're talking about war and what's going on over there, and they're talking about maybe the last days and Armageddon. So I think a lot of people are real scared out there. I just want to tell you the way I'm going to show you how I've got this all figured. You probably won't see any chart like this anywhere on YouTube, and because I simply don't see this bull flag that I outlined here. That's a bull flag. It's extremely bullish. It's bearish why it happens. It looked like it was going to peak out the top and go, and it didn't. It gave two fakey fakes, came back down. And this is perfectly normal. This is what I've been talking about for the whole time. And anyways, back to that. I think I've been over the years, I've been looking into the Bible and that kind of stuff. And the timeline, it appears, if you're a believer, is, I think actually we're on the verge of 1,000 years of peace, and then we're like 1,000 years away from the big war. So I know people are worried about World War III. I don't think you should be worried about that. And I think because if you like 7 days creation and is a day is 1,000 years, and we're at the end of roughly at the end of the 6th millennium, which would suggest the 7th millennium of 1,000 years of peace will be Saturday, the last day of the week. And if you can just kind of piece it together if you pay attention. So I just want to tell you that, because I don't think there's going to be World War III. People are talking about nuclear war. I just want to say that because I know how scary it is, right? I want to see what was wrong with Bitcoin. I just woke up. I just want to see what was going, why it was crashing, and I just saw war and terror, blood and guts and blood in the streets and dinga dinga dinga. They're just begging for you to click on their video, and they're just so. I don't want to talk bad about other people, but so I won't. But they want your clicks, right? They want your clicks. And Crypto Zombie and Benjamin Cowan, I think, are people that are actually worth my time to watch. And there's others, and that's enough of that. Okay, so why this green descending channel? And for those of you watching, you've noticed I've made some changes. This bottom part of the descending channel I just had drawn through here. I went ahead and extended it the whole way. This does look like an entire channel now with a target of 12,500. I do believe it will eventually break up to the upside. I just don't know how long. And with that being said, it could also as well dump down out of this as well. But I think it'd have to be a serious dump to do that. So far, this dump stopped here, just shy of this wick back here, just barely beat this wick here, and it didn't set a new low. So it's popped back up, and I just want to show you, for those of you that have been watching, and I got long-winded. I should just get straight to the point. I might get more views, right? But this is an interesting looking chart. So hopefully you're still here. I will explain it real quick here. Okay, so lots of YouTubers and analysis will not see that this is a bull flag descending channel. I think a lot of them will be calling a pennant. Like they'll put a support like here and go up here. And it is true, right? But that would have been broken out. These big red ones broke out the bottom of that. You probably can't see it, so I don't want to talk about what other people are doing. They just don't see it. I don't think they're going to be seeing this. And I drew this big green descending bullish channel in here way back here when these data points came in. I'm not going to go back and look. I do believe it was in this ballpark here, and right, I drew this in just because I've been watching, and these channels just occur over and over and over and over. And when I can get dialed in on the macro on a daily chart, we're on a daily chart here, they really work well. And I'll show my trade I'm in. I've been showing my trade I'm in. I've been long and short in the same time. I'll show you how that worked out. And I'm still in it. I'll show you that here in a second. But anyways, I drew it in like way before the data points on the bottom were there. And there were some data points here, but it shouldn't have showed up, right? I was like 2 weeks ago or so, or longer. I don't know. Some back in that park. Since then, we had this yellow triangle, and right. And I'm not talking bad about other channels. I just need to say this because it's reference. Let's go to the 1 hour, And I just want to show you something because they're not doing this right. So this yellow triangle here, in my opinion, had two supports and then this resistance. And this, see here at this where X marks the spot. That's everything to the left of that was the triangle. But what I've learned is that just go ahead and extend that resistance coming down here like so. Just extend it way out here into the future, and this is going to be really interesting. And also the support line for the original triangle. Now this triangle, a lot of channels say this triangle broke up and had this great big breakout up here, and that is true technically. But there's also this red ascending channel that when that breakout happened out of there, it actually almost hit that target for that channel on the dot. So that's kind of basically really what that was. The yellow triangle just kind of was just kind of blah, right? And I showed taking profit too early, and I definitely took it too early, but it was just kind of blah, right? Just kind of came out sideways, went up, and kind of sideways, lit up, and then I think actually what happened was it broke out there. But it's neither here nor there. I just know a lot of people aren't seeing these channels. I have this yellow line of the triangle and the red line of the channel, slightly different, just so you can see them visually with your eyeball. They're actually the exact same lines, the support. And I just want to show you what's happened recently, right? Extending the support from that yellow triangle. Just extend it way out into future. As a matter of fact, let's just, while we're here, let's just go put it. Whoops, that's the wrong one, but they're the same thing. So, as a matter of fact, let's just put it way out here. Let's put it way out here in the future. What happens later in the future? I'm thinking this will probably be a good resistance line to watch. What do you think? What do you think? Let's do that. Let's just go ahead and put that way out into the future. And there's actually two red channels in there, but you got the idea. I will extend this other one out there too, but I just want to do it right now. Okay, so you can see, right, the channel, the triangle broke out, right? And as a breakout, okay, done. You won't hear probably anything ever again about that triangle. But look what happened, right? Extending the support line for that triangle all the way into the future. Look at this, the hourly chart, and just look at this. Look at the interaction. Look at this. Just boom, right off it. Boom, right off it. Boom, right off it. Boom, right off it. Boom, boom, boom. Sport. Right? That happens over and over, and that's good to watch. So why, I'm keeping that on my chart. And how I trade is a lot different because I don't have the last cycle. I got wiped out. I didn't know exactly what I was doing too well, and I almost made a ton of money, but I got wiped out and using leverage. A note to the people out there: I was using last cycle. I was using 1.6 leverage, 1.6 leverage, and the market went down, and I got wiped out. So I was gonna make a short little video and just say you need to look at this chart of mine, blah 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 blah. But I just get talking because there's new people, and I always gotta say something to the new people. Okay, so the resistance of the yellow triangle, where this Bitcoin broke out of it, extend that into the future, and I sat here and I watched after this dump happened and it came back up. I just sat here and watched. Okay, well first the original dump from 70 to 67 almost hit that yellow line on the dot. And I was calling for that like the day before, and it was actually a little later. And I wasn't calling for it. I was saying that's if it does happen, that's the spot to watch. And see, I was circling this blue dotted line in the middle of the big green channel. Right, there's also a dotted blue line in the bottom of this little green channel. You know what? I should actually probably just take that line out there, but I don't want to because this is support. So just from experience, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And I really like my analysis and my chart. It just works wonderful. And I'm just not at the point, like I said, I got wiped out. If I had a bunch of money, I could just basically sit here in my living room and just make videos and just do this. But I'm not there. I'm trying to get around the corner, right? And it's not exactly easy to do when you don't have a lot of time. So I'm trading the way I'm trading, and I'll show you that here in a second. Just kind of swing long-term stuff. But anyways, right? Remember in videos past, I was talking about this blue. I got the magnet on. Why did the magnet turn on there? That's weird. Why does it turn on? Because I hit the control button. Huh. The blue line, dotted blue line, and the big green channel, and the yellow line from the previous triangle that's erased off pretty much probably everyone's analysis chart everywhere. On the daily chart, folks, on the daily. I mean, we're on the hourly now, but on the daily is where these big macro patterns happen, and I don't know if macro is exactly the right word, but long term, right? Daily, long term chart. That's the ones where you want to leave here for a long time. So, okay, it's no coincidence, right? Boom, that dump stopped right there, right? The strong support. So, had I been sitting here watching that dump, I would have been sitting here just going, yep, it's going to stop right here. Well, if it stops, it's going to stop right here, most likely. And I mean, I could have sat here and just said it's stopping right here. I mean, I could have been wrong. It could have came down further, of course, but there it is, right there it happened. And one let me put some height on this. One characteristic for the new folks out there, when these dumps happen, you'll see these big red candles with the big wicks on the bottom. And when you see that after a big scary crash, they come popping right back up. They get bought right back up, and this is the same pattern as last year. Right? They recover and then kind of go sideways and maybe a little down and a little up and then just kind of sideways. Boom. Right. And then we did the exact same pattern again. Boom, boom. Big red candle and long wick on the bottom. And look, see, it recovered. Actually, they usually don't recover that high. There was extreme buying happening. Now, I don't know if they were leveraged longing or not. And this could have been a bit of a long, irresponsible long squeeze. And I would have got squeezed out here because on my big 10x long, I had my liquidation was like a 64,000 right around this yellow line. And I'll show you how I got out of that. And I don't really have a lot of dry powder to play with, but I'll show you something here that, and the way I trade is just based on experience. And I can't really tell anyone out there to try what I do. If you can't draw a chart like this and then say this and that, and if I get in trouble, I need dry powder. And I'm going to show you a trick a lot of people might not know. If you're worried about getting liquidated and whatnot, you can actually reduce your leverage. It takes a little more money. I mean, you don't lose money, but you can reduce your leverage. Like, so I went from 10x leverage to 5.5 leverage, and I'll show you a clip here in a second. Anyways, boom, recover. That's an extra high wick there, but big selling came in, right? They usually don't do that, and it fixed itself. And go figure. What's the support? After that's the yellow line. Right, and it stays right on that yellow line for a while, kind of comes down, back up, typical behavior after big dump, sideways. It'll go sideways for a while. We're kind of in a ballpark now where it might make another move. I don't know if it's going up or down. I'm leaning towards Bitcoin continuing down for a while. I could be wrong. It could easily come back up, test the top of this channel. I'll zoom out here in a second so you can see more stuff. But there it is, and it's no coincidence at all, folks. This I've just been watching this for so long. So this one here stopped on this dotted blue line, and just go over and look at the dotted blue line. They put this in when you draw a parallel channel, and look at this, the hourly channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 9 hours, coming on 10 hours. Well, this looks like it might be breaking down. If it doesn't stop between 63,800 and 63,550 ballpark. If it doesn't bounce off that yellow line, then we might be looking down. And I do, if you had to ask me, probable, I would say that it is going to come down and probably test this green line here at 60,400, and then if it continues, see this one actually came down. This was basically the support for it. This was a massive crash, and that support on the bottom of that parallel channel, that's where it stopped. But it was intense, and it came down a little further. It almost made down to the blue line. So had I been sitting here watching that, and I was sleeping, I would have been saying, watch for this one, watch for this support to stop it. Watch for this support, and I could get real intricate and sit here, but I just at this point I can't. I kind of wish I could, but at the same time, I kind of wish I'm glad I can't, because I don't know if I'd want to do this for a living. It's because I'm basically traders are just taking other people's money. Oh, look at that! While we're making the video, look at that. I just got done. The words just came out of my mouth. Look at that. It's right now. The hourly candle just came down and bounced right off the yellow line, came back up a little bit, moved back down just slightly, and let's get some height on that. Look at that action, folks. Look at I just got done talking about that. See what I'm saying? This chart I have here, and if you learn how to do this, and if you have the time, you could probably start doing this now. I don't want to get people into trading because if you don't have experience, if this is your first cycle through and you're just getting into it, you probably will lose until you get comfortable with just how you want to do stuff. And a lot of stuff on Bitcoin, like YouTube, is they're talking about trading triangles and that stuff, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if there's all that. The problem with trading like a triangle is you have to be sitting there. You have to, like I just got done saying about myself, you have to be able to have the time to sit here. You have to watch when this channel. I mean, I guess you could set it, but you want to trade a pattern. You basically got to be sitting here and wait, watching for the breakout. And I guess smartphones and stuff, but I just think the general people probably aren't going to really want to do that. And it's just interesting. Let's see what happens here live. Look at this. This worked out pretty good. I'm just so happy with this chart, and I'll go back and I'll zoom out and I'll show you a few more things. You should draw this in on if you've got, this is Femex I'm on. You don't have to have money or account. I mean, you don't have to have money to draw a chart like this. I like Femex, and the reason I'm loyal to Femex, and I'm not promoting nothing, but I didn't have a smartphone when I first started buying Bitcoin and getting into Bitcoin. This is the only site I could find where you didn't have to have a smartphone, and they let you on. So I thought that was pretty cool. And just go figure, Femex has made it through all the. It actually turned out to be a good, solid site. They made it through all the crap of the last few years, no problems. Okay, so I want to show you. I was going to talk about this in the last video, and this was supposed to be like a 3 or 4 minute video. But here we go. Let's not do that now. So sometimes now this red parallel ascending channel only has like a $3,000 target. It's not that big. It's nowhere near the size of this green one on the bottom. But with that being said, my last video, I wanted to talk about something just for the sake of talking. Sometimes when you get a nice sized channel that comes out of a big channel, 2 big channels, ascending and descending, I have the red one marked just because, you're supposed to call that bearish and for reference. And the green, I have descending for bullish, up and down, but that doesn't really matter. It's just reference, something to look at, not boring. And, if you have everything just the same color and stuff, it might be kind of actually why people don't see some of this stuff and leave it on your chart just because the pattern broke. Why? Look at, you can just see, right? Look at right now, look at that thing, that hourly candle I was talking about just bounced off the yellow line on the dot. It couldn't have been look at, well, wait a second. There's just a little nub in a red, right? I'm off by $1. My bad, right? See, that's the power of this chart, and I'm more happy with my charting ability so far than anything else. And I should be making money, and wow, I am, but I should be making a lot of money. But maybe I will. I think I am going to. I'm getting there. I just need to be able to get in a point where I can just get a bunch of money in here and play the rest of the cycle. And so, anyways, what I was going to say before I started yammering. So, see here when it broke out of the red descending channel. Sometimes what will happen is, this is just on a side note for the future if you want to check it out. And it still could happen here later too, but I don't think so. No, I don't think it can now. But it'll be, anyways. It'll be this yellow and red ascending trend line here will be definitely probably be resistance out in the future, and this green one is resistance, and then going to be support later. But what happens? What I was looking for, maybe, and I forgot to say, and it doesn't matter now. But sometimes these will turn into a megaphone, right? It'll go higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, right? And then a breakout, that's the big breakout to 89,000 or whatever. But anyways, I've charted one of those before. That was pretty cool. That didn't happen, but that's just something there, right? And if I didn't have that red channel and the yellow line in there. See, people would have eventually after. The point I'm making here is what I'm doing here is I'm being kind of put the patterns in before they're actually in, right? So, like if that I saw this as a megaphone because my chart, right? This potential megaphone, right? And I could have went on here for a long time before the third high is in. Oh, now the third low is in. Oh, yep, it's a megaphone, right? But I would have noticed it was a megaphone right here, right? And that is possible to do. That's how I've got this big green channel. Now you wouldn't want to like put money on it that was going to happen. I'm just saying you can see it happening well before it's actually a pattern. And that's basically how I got this big bull flag. I don't know if anyone out there's even heard anyone else talk about this as a bull flag. And I've been saying for basically since I've seen it, flagpole, bull flag. I don't know how long it'll go, but I could just. I've been saying this is going to be 3, 2, 1. I've been saying this is going to be the one that leads us to higher levels, and this will be a powerful dude for sure. Go back to the daily. This is a very, very powerful pattern, and when this thing does eventually break, it should have some real zip to it. Now anything can happen, of course. It could break out the bottom, right? And Bitcoin could go down to 30,000. But I'll show you the downside where I'm at when I go show you my trade. But all right, this is say this goes all the way into May. This was May 10th right here. 65,000, 12,000. That'd be 77, 78 target. $78,000 target would be up here. Right, and then if that's the case, it's probably touching 80, right? So that's the kind of pattern this is, and that should happen here eventually, even if Bitcoin comes down. In the next day, right now, the next few days, it could come down here, and I would watch this green line here. Just draw this in. Learn how to do this yourself. Is my analysis for you. This green line here. April 26th will be 58,000. This blue dotted line here is likely to be a support. This green line here is likely to be a support. It kind of was, not really, but that's almost the third data point. It's just not quite there all the way. Right? They say 3 data points to make it valid, but maybe the 3 data points just aren't there yet. So, right, here's 1, here's 2. This is almost 3. So why would you wait? Right, and all these data points on top here. Why would you wait for Bitcoin to way down here on May 4th? It puts in its third data point, and now I can draw in the parallel channel. Right, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm just kind of doing my own thing, and like I say, I could get real intricate. I could start to get real intricate, but if I started doing that, I'd have to go work and do other stuff and take care of stuff. And I'd get stuck in a trade, and I'd make a mistake, and it would, and then I'd be, if I tried to just sit here and make a living off this, then I'd be forced to. I got to make this much money today. I got to make this much money today. I have to make this much money today, and that's too much. No, I don't think anyone can do that because you're basically forcing situations, and you're basically going to end up gambling. And okay, so I'm going to show you this here. These 2 white horizontal lines is probably the bottom support for any near-term dump on Bitcoin. Right here, the 2 horizontal lines, 50,695 to 53,050. So 53,000 should be starting support. Ironically, that's where my liquidation is. I'll show you that here in a second. I can't show my trade on the big screen. If that 50,695 bottom white line was broken on my chart, and the thing about this chart I got here is, it's not my chart. I'm just making observations. My observations. All these levels I'm talking about are probably matching up with like the analysis you might see of like Fibonacci and the moving averages and this and that and this and that. And if this happens, but this is basically the same. I'm basically saying the same thing as all the other super confusing things you're going to hear. All the this and that. You can literally just confuse yourself and just becoming a giant mess. And I don't want to create traders. If you don't want to trade, don't trade. I recommend just buy on the spot market. And I want my viewers to enjoy the rest of this cycle. So just go over to Robinhood and just buy Bitcoin on Robinhood. If you're brand new, you don't have to get your own wallet yet or nothing. Bitcoin on Robinhood is fine. Eventually you'll want to own your own Bitcoin and put it in a wallet. But if you're just starting out, go over to Robinhood, just buy in the spot market. Don't use leverage. I want you to enjoy yourself, and that's the way to do this. This should eventually go up over 100,000. This is getting to be a long video, and I wanted to say something else there. I'll say it real quick. This could be a situation. Maybe there's one more pump to this, but this could be. If this is the top here at 74,000, and I've been kicking this around, it does fit in with past behavior and past cycles. And people might be saying this time is different, but it's just a little earlier. So a similar thing happened in 2019 that if chronologically would have happened in the summer of 2023. And I had talked about it before, and I think it might have just taken a long time to happen because all the nice, just buying. This could be coming down. It looks something like this in past cycles, something like this. It doesn't go down. It doesn't not that far. It doesn't go down that far, but maybe 50,000, something like that. Slow, methodical drain, and then eventually we'll get into the real parabolic. I mean, the finishing strike. That could be 2025. That could be October 2024. August maybe. Who knows for sure? But at a later time to the right. That's a possibility, and that actually does fit in with this giant green channel where if I don't want to extend it right now because it'll look weird, but if I extend this green channel all the way down here, let's say this top here, I mean, shoot, you'd be talking about August, end of August, the start of September. Just eyeballing it, start of September is 51,000, and that could be what we're looking at, and then it breaks from there, and so that'd be like $64,000 target from there. That could be happening, but this green channel is in my opinion is the only pattern that's in play in the big scheme of things. Now this is like a kaleidoscope I've shown before, and I was going to try to develop like a little kaleidoscope trading system, and you're kind of looking at it now. I just kind of got back into Bitcoin lately trading, and but I just don't have the time, right? And if I don't have enough time, and I try to make videos, and it takes like an hour to make a video, and it's just that don't work for trading, and I don't have enough viewers to live stream, and I just can't get around a corner or hump with several things. So I'm just going to show you my trade here, and this is why I'm doing it this way. It's working really well now. I have a long and a short open here, and you can see the long is it negative $1,200 underwater, $1,200, and it looks terrible. But I've taken profit many times on the long, and I've taken profit many times on the short. I wish I had more screen to show here. It's kind of annoying. I guess I can eke out a little bit right there, but still the daily chart is kind of scrunched down here, and the purple vertical line is the halving. 420 2024 left to right, and if you read it backwards it's 420 2024. Okay, and so what was I talking about? Palindrome just confused me. What's he talking about? My trade. So I had a 10x leverage, and I'll insert that clip now. $10x leverage on the long. I was out working, and I was watching on my smartphone. I just watched Robinhood because my short vision's going bad, and Robinhood's got big numbers. And I saw it come down out of that red ascending channel, and that is a $3,000 bearish target, and it basically hit it on the money when it hit that yellow line. I didn't mention that. Not on the money. Actually, it's like $5,000. It actually beat the target by quite a bit. Never mind. But it broke down, right? It broke down out of that bearish red channel, and when I saw it do this, come down and bounce way down here, and I just knew I always keep, I knew what I was doing. I had about basically equal positions on long and short. Now I messed up and I got into a long because I was worried this was gonna bust up, right? So I longed, and I was still in a short too, so they're covering each other's back. And the problem was, is my short, I had to, my short wasn't set well enough to where my long was going to liquidate at 64,000, and for my short to be profitable, I had to go much lower, and I had my money in my short, I guess. So in a nutshell, I had to close down my short. Well, no, I guess I did that before, but anyways, I had dry powder. Like this was like a $1,700 position in the long, and I had like $1,900 dry powder, and I was doing that for a reason because lots of people don't know about that trick. Right? I went from 10x leverage to 5.5x leverage. I probably could have went 5.3, 5.4, 5.2. I just tried 5 and they wouldn't let me do it. But I had a little. I probably could have. I probably could about like 5.2, 5.3. Anyways, it's close enough. I'm in the safety zone now. And my liquidation price on that short is now way down to 53,000. So it went down. I think it was now 60. It went down like 10,000. I think it was like 63, 64. But anyways, I just knew from past just experience there was no technical analysis to it. I saw it come crashing down out of here, and just the way that wick on the dude looked, I just knew. I had to drop my liquidation price on that long. I had to get out of that 10x, and I made many mistakes. I've taken profit many times in this, and I've made bad entries. I've made sold too early. Right, I've sold too early too many times. I kind of got stuck. I kind of longed the top for 10x leverage, right? And now I've turned it into a 5.5x leverage with a liquidation of 53. And I want to show you, I can put more dry powder. I got some more dry powder here. I actually used a credit card for this. I wasn't planning on doing that, but I'm cool with doing that. Down here is my liquidation price on that long, and this is what I was basically learned last cycle, and I was on the verge of life changing money for anyone interested. If I'm actually going to be decent, if this is worth listening to, and I would say just draw this chart in. I will go to the daily chart and freeze it for you, or show you a shot of it on the big screen. I guess you already saw it. You can go back in the video and just freeze it and just look at where I got the chair, everything drawn in, and just do it yourself, and then watch, and then look for parallel channels. The parallel channels, if you start looking for them, they're real easy to see. Right? It'll be either higher highs and higher lows going up. It'll be like a column going, kind of diagonal up, or like the green ones will be higher lows and lower lows. Did I say that right the first time? Going up, higher highs, higher lows. Going down, lower lows, lower highs, and you'll just see them. You'll just see, if you just start looking at the tops of the candles, the wicks, and or the body, the candle bodies where they close. You'll just, if you just look for it, you'll start to see them, and they're all over. They're from the 1 minute chart to the 5 minute chart to the daily chart. I mean, they're on the weekly chart. Probably not so much the weekly or monthly, but the daily. When they're the big ones aren't a daily, man. That's when I start leaving them in, and you get that kaleidoscope effect, right? Put in the green one, then the yellow triangle came in, then the red descending came in, and then this came in, and then these yellow lines are down from the triangle to support, and it's just on and on and on. And there was a potential of a megaphone that I showed you, right? It's just kaleidoscopes. It's just constantly changing. It's really interesting. And that's another kind of reason why I've got different colors and stuff. And I made a couple of videos a long time ago about the kaleidoscope technique. It's actually a quite real effective thing. If someone out there wants to put some time into it and sit and watch, or they have got a job where they can constantly monitor it. I'm right now I'm on a 55-inch big screen TV sitting in my living room. This chart I have is on a giant big screen television, right? And this that's a big difference than driving down the street on a motorcycle, working at DoorDash and that kind of stuff. So, anyways, big difference for me in that aspect. I don't know about you, but anyways. And so, anyways, I've got about $1,900 if I need. of more dry powder, dry powder, dry powder, dry powder, and always leg in. Sometimes I'll ape in just for protection. Like this short I'm in now, the first half of it, I aped in right away when I changed my leverage on the long, and because just because if you know I didn't know it could have been an old school dump, right? This thing could have just came down to 50,000, and so what I did with this short now at 266, and you know I can add to that too, and or just leave it as is. But anyways, you know if so now if Bitcoin came down to my $53,000 liquidation area for the long, I've got see all these over here on the green. I've got a nice little defense set up. See the yellow liquidation line, and I've got all these little green starting at 53,599 down to 53,339. Just I like putting in multiple trades just in case one gets skipped. You know, you don't get liquidated. I don't know. I've never seen that happen, but that does worry me because sometimes they won't trigger right away, and I'm not sure how that would work. So I've got 4 of them in there. So as long as one of the first ones trigger, it'll drive down a liquidation long enough for the other ones to have time to trigger. Because you know a real rapid wick kind of scares me, so I don't just put one real close to the liquidation. I spread it, and that's why. And so hopefully someone out there's getting some good stuff out of this. I'm just kind of talking at this point. Now that I've started talking, let's just keep talking. Okay, so the short would technically, if Bitcoin, if the price came down to the $53,000 mark, that would be about 105% profit on this short right here. So it'd be about $270 profit, and so I put that in with the 266. You're talking about what's that 140 $540. I'd have $540 more dry powder. See how putting that short in there, because I do believe it's possible. Now here's I'm just kind of explaining my trade now, and I didn't really want to, but because if you don't have a firm grasp for this, don't do what I'm doing. But I just want to try to maybe open some eyes, and I think really what I'm doing here is really going to end up being wonderful. And that's basically it's just like a game. I don't even treat it like anything else. It's just a game, right? And I actually stay away from a lot of YouTube videos. I don't really look at the thumbnails because it totally screws my head up. Like I say, that's why I mentioned that part about World War III, right? Because when I wanted to just see real quick on YouTube what maybe caused this crash, I just looked at the thumbnails and titles, and it was just awful. It was just this big mess of disaster and terribleness. And in order for me to go figure out what it's all about, I would have had to watch 8 or 9 videos and taken 6 or 7 hours or what, you know, and I just knew it still affects me psychologically, and I already know that those titles and thumbnails, they screw people's heads up. They really do. And some, you know, like there'll be terrible titles, like terrible things, and then you'll watch the video and they'll be like, oh, you know, I could go up here and ding 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 ding, and you know the video might actually content might be pretty good because they give 2, you know, I mean it might be pretty good, but the titles, folks, if you knew, they want you to click. That's all they want. They just want you to click. If you start to see it, it's like you go to the carnival, right? You play carnival games, right? They got the heavy weighted bottles, and they give you a ball, and you try to knock down the bottles, and it's basically physically impossible. You might come close, and that makes you just keep doing it more. And then there's like a trick to it, and the guy will be like, "No, here's how you do it, ding," and he just does it, and you know. So there is like a way to do it, but you don't know how. But it's carnival games, right? They're just rigged. You know, you'll win an animal here and there, but you know you're gonna lose your money. You know, you done paid $40 for a little monkey, a little stuffed monkey, right? You do get lucky sometimes, get the big animal, but you know, understand that's what it just reminds me of. Carnival, it's just a circus, a carnival game. And I mentioned the 2 channels that I've started watching again. That I really think that Benjamin Cowan and Crypto Zombie. I honestly think they're making lots of money, and they genuinely care about you. And you know, you got to make decent thumbnails and titles so people will watch your videos. But I'm just saying for the single person out there, when you look at that, it's just a mess. And if you're brand new, just ignore it. Ignore it. When they all say doom and gloom, then it's gonna most likely Bitcoin will pump. When I all say it's going to 80,000, like I've been saying recently, I was like, I'm not comfortable anymore. I'm not comfortable getting in the mainstream thought on YouTube. I'm not comfortable with saying it's going to 80. And then my last video, I was like, well, if the nations get into a Bitcoin buying race, that we could look at $1 million Bitcoin in 9 months, and I just, I just dread the thought of a brand new person for the first time. So watch the video, and that was the one I watched, and all I heard in my video, even though I had this chart and was explaining stuff, all they subconsciously heard was Bitcoin could go to 1 million. So they put in a 10x leverage long, and it just dumped on their face, and they lost all their money. So that happens, right? So you gotta know what you're doing, and so I got a little sloppy. I kind of ran out of dry powder, like I said, but I did a good thing before I got into the market. I paid off some credit card debt, and I don't want to go use that again. But I think this is a good spot to do it, because this was my end game for now in this trade. As I wanted to be trapped in a long, I would have been okay being trapped in a short and just keep shorting up over 80 or 90,000 until there's a correction. This is how I'm doing it. But so now this is actually the way I wanted it, because long term, what's going to happen? That big pump will come for Bitcoin. It could just be in another year, right? I don't think it'll take that long. I do think it'll probably start, well, by end of summer, anyways. Which is interesting. It could start. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I do expect downtrend, because the thing about that is, oh no, Bitcoin's going down. Oh, stupid. But no, this is where you should be buying. Like on the spot market, just keep buying. The downtrend is good. It's a buying opportunity. If you see Bitcoin at $50,000, that's probably a wonderful opportunity. And I meant to say earlier, if Bitcoin broke through that bottom white line, there's another support shortly afterwards, right here. See these things keep popping up. See this area here. I mean, that wick, couple wicks there, and these candles here. That's occurring right at about 47. Actually 49,000 to 47,500. I got my chart scrunched, and so that would be support 47,000. And I would bet that if you're watching their channels, you would hear basically exactly what I just said. And they're using all that other stuff, all the other indicators and analysis. And then and of course, if it came down, you're looking at what I'm doing is I'm just using the tops of these candles for support. That's just how this works. Don't ask me why. And I don't know if other markets and stock markets are like this or not, but if it is, I might one day be able to just totally knock this out of the park, man. But just one day at a time, right? So 46,000, basically almost $1,000 increments. I bet, but this is going to be 5. Let's see. Right, this next set here is 45,000. Right, 45,000 is good, and then this one's probably going to be 44. Let's see. No, 43,005. So I wouldn't expect it to come too much lower than this. 44,000 probably. But if it came through there, you're probably looking at and this is probably just ludicrous. I shouldn't even waste my time talking about it or your time, but you'd be back down here, basically where this big move to 74,000 started. You'd be back down here where we just came out of the bear market. Right back here was 16,000. Then this is like 30, 32, and then it started popping, and at 34. But I don't, 34,000, maybe 34,000, 35,000. A wick down there, some death-defying death wick of disaster. That would be bottom case in my opinion. I don't think I did watch some videos, and they talk about World War Three. Well, click on my video. It's World War Three. Bitcoin's going to 30,000. I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't like it. I noticed it last cycle, and I stopped watching a lot of that stuff, and they just want you to go. Why, if they're making so much money on Bitcoin and trading, why are they making videos every single day? Like that's what I like about Crypto Zombie. He keeps talking about I don't really have time to make videos anymore. He makes high quality videos. Very time consuming. I know that, and I'm not going to edit this video. There's going to be segments in this video that got boring, and where you might have heard me go 3, 2, 1. That's where I say something stupid, and I want to set a marker when I'm editing. this video got too long to edit, so it might be a little sloppy, but you got my idea. I just kind of let loose here, and so yeah. What else I want to say? I do like that. Well, let's see. Let me show you real quick while I'm here. Let's go. Well, nah, I don't. It's getting stupid. I already talked about that. Bitcoin $74,000 top, slowly retracing down my bull flag, my green descending parallel channel, which is a bull flag. The reason why no one's saying that is because initially it couldn't be seen because there was no bottom data sets. But I knew to draw that little channel on the bottom just based on experience. That red channel going up is the same situation. I put a little sliver of red. What it is usually is the difference between the bodies of the candles and the wicks. That wasn't really the case with this green one here, but I saw it, right? I saw it, and it's clearly a downtrend. And I do believe this last major crash, not major crash, what is for this cycle, for recent history, there was a pretty major scary crash if you knew. And it could get worse. You could be looking at some more of these red candles to 57,000 in the next within the next week. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin came down and hit 57,000. Now on my trade here, I'm that's what I'm planning for, right? You can see this was my plan along. I thought Bitcoin might come down, even though I was talking about it, going up to how it goes up to 80 and blah blah blah. I didn't care, right? I didn't care if it goes up or down. If I get stuck in the short, this is just what a lot of people don't think about. You stay small and have dry powder, so you can just keep increasing your position. So this short I'm in right now, let's take this down a little bit. Short I'm in right now, I'm going to explain this. I'm just kind of dropping information for people that want to know. Maybe if they want to know if they're still listening. That's the bad part about having a small crowd. If you're not traders, you're not listening anymore. But the thing about this is, you should become a knowledgeable trader. And down the road, I think this is where you can make a lot of money. But so this short I'm in right now, say I never take profit on it, and I might never take profit because I basically got that short set. So if Bitcoin comes down to 53,000, not only do I have a barrier of buys down there set up to protect, and I have got more dry powder you don't see on here. Not only does that happen, but I can take profit on that short if Bitcoin comes down to the 53,000 area towards my liquidation. And maybe I can even let it run, because my liquidation will probably be down. My goal is to get liquidation down below where I was talking about, the 47,000. I'll have enough oomph to get my liquidation price way under 40,000 if I need be. And that's kind of what this little short's doing. I'm not adding money to the short right now. Why? Because Bitcoin might pump up to the top of this channel, right? And maybe I'll add some short there, right? Because I do think we're probably going to enter maybe a fairly time-consuming downtrend. I mean, we've been in a downtrend since March 12th, March 13th. It's middle of April now, so. But anyways, I do expect that to continue. It's a general theme. The short I'm in, I do not care if it goes away. If Bitcoin starts pumping and my long starts turning real profitable, I'll just leave that short open. That's I will intentionally let that short go underwater. Why would I do that? Well, because the short right now, the way I have it set, is to protect my liquidation. It's just to add a little more dry powder, right? And if Bitcoin doesn't come down that far, maybe it only comes down to 57,000, and Bitcoin pumps off the bottom of that green channel, and maybe that's 57,000 is the bottom, and that's the bottom for the next year and a half. That could happen. And so why would I let that short just go into underwater? Why would I do that? Well, because it's small, right? Small, legging in small increments. It's $266. So the liquidation price on that short right now, as it is at 72,000. That's pretty high. And if need be, if this starts getting real hectic, I can put in a little money, and I can decrease the size of the leverage, right? I can make the short, 3x leverage, because it's only $266. It's just a little tiny thing. It's doing its job for me right now, protecting. That short is protecting my long position liquidation, and I didn't understand that last cycle. And if I didn't understand that last cycle, I would have been to six figures probably rapidly, and I'd probably be seven, maybe even eight figures, right? I could be sitting here with $10 million if just a few stupid little things, if I just a little experience. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. Maybe I'll end up doing something stupid again. That could happen. So who knows what's gonna happen? But anyways, nutshell, liquidation price on the short as it is at 72,077. That's this yellow line. I'm trying to make this video shorter by talking quick, but as you can tell, I really enjoy. I think this is just fantastic. This chart that I've made here, because like all the Fibonacci levels and all the moving averages and all that stuff, all the Bollinger Bands and this and that all that stuff is basically the price of Bitcoin is basically all that stuff is causing what you see here, right? So it's almost kind of like I'm kind of tickling looking at the future a little bit, right? Like I said, with this green channel going down, no one saw that. No one saw that back here on March 28th or whenever I started making videos about that, right? There's not even data points on the bottom. What are you doing, right? It comes up the top, test the top for the second time. That's not enough data, but it's there. I just knew it because I've been watching. Anyways, my point is this chart that I've made is kind of like the sum, right? Like all the other technical analysis is kind of, well, Fibonacci is actually wonderful, but that Fibonacci is causing my chart, right? And Fibonacci, you can kind of look into the future, I guess. Fibonacci is pretty cool, but I would guess that the reason I say the same thing as someone using Fibonacci is because Fibonacci is what's causing my chart, right? So I'm kind of maybe back engineering. I don't know, but I like my chart because it's unique. I'm really tickled with myself, patting myself on the back. Oh, my computer's about to power down. Hold on. Oh boy, this is what happened last time. I sat for almost a half hour last time. Folks, and my power ran out of my battery because I didn't have my laptop plugged in. Okay, well, 2%. I had about 5 minutes left on a long video like this. I wouldn't even have made this video. I just would have. I don't know what I'd have done. I'd have screamed at my cat. It's your fault, dude. There it is. So where am I at? Okay, so no coincidence, right? That yellow support line. It's just for like 12 hours now, 10 hours or whatever it is. The daily candle. It's just stuck on it, and watching for that yellow line to give way, and then I think there is another session, right? This is kind of how I did it last cycle. I got my channel. This is all scrunched down, but these big red candles with the death wicks taking out leverage. I would have got taken out last. I would have got taken out. That wick would have knocked me out 12 hours before I seen it coming. And I do want to say, obviously you can see me protecting the $53,000 level, which is actually a breakdown out of the big green channel. So you can see what I'm thinking is going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised in the next few days if there wasn't, on that hourly chart where it showed that pattern, wick down, come back up sideways, death candle, death wick down, pump right back up, real good buying and kind of sideways. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that same behavior, at least down to 57,000, the bottom of the channel. And anyways, with the short, I'll get back to that. I'm just rambling. I really like this. This was so much fun. I actually like making this chart and telling people about this chart probably more than I like making money off That sounds kind of stupid, but basically making money in this profession or whatever you want to call this, I call it. I don't mean to offend anyone, but this is basically a game. It's a game. It's a circus. And once I saw it as what it is, everyone's trying to take your money, right? So if you're not going to play the game, then get out. Just stop. Just buy on the spot market, which is, if you don't have experience, is what you should be doing. And get some experience. Take 1,000. I don't know what kind of money you got, $1,000, a couple $100, and start charting these trading techniques and stuff if you want. The thing about learn trading is it opens your mind to money markets, and you start seeing how they work because you got skin in the game. But if anyone out there's got a bunch of money, please do not put a bunch of money into this trading with leverage. If you don't know what you're doing, if you weren't, I would say, if you weren't in last cycle, if you don't have a few years of trading with leverage experience, don't start now. Do not do it. Don't put big money into it, right? If you're gonna be successful, then start with a little bit. Like, see my trade right here. If I'm gonna be successful, I'm gonna be successful. Right? I'll start with. I'm up. I should have said that earlier. I'm up about seven. I didn't keep track. 700 or 800, probably about 700, just here in the last week and a half, right? But it just doesn't show, right? So I'm down 1,100 now in the long. So technically, I'm underwater about 400, $500 in that ballpark, and maybe not that much. Anyways, it's that ballpark, right? So if this trade just comes up to like 700, 600, 500, negative 600, I'll be even. But this is what I wanted to happen, right? I'm intentionally going underwater on my longs and my shorts. 72,771, the yellow line, the liquidation on that $266, and that's just legging in. And it's just very important. Dry powder, legging in, small increments. So Bitcoin pumps way up. Why wouldn't you close your short? It's pumping. Close your short. Close your short. Well, that's what human nature would tell you, right? No, ignore that. This is a game. This is a circus where people are trying to take your money. I kind of look at it like a quantum computer. I used to say, composite man. A couple things happened to me in this market where I saw long term trend, decent long, medium, long term patterns, and the almost the minute, just the instant it seemed like I made my decision to make a move, just went the other way, just in my face, and just I started saying, I think there's a quantum computer hunting me, right? Computers out to get me. And so I'm just basically looking at it like that. I'm playing a game with a quantum computer. So how could you beat a quantum computer? Well, I'm shorting and long and fool. Now what you're gonna do, right? So Bitcoin pumps way back up. I want Bitcoin to come down. I want Bitcoin to come down to 48, 47,000. That's fine with me. I'm planning for that. I'm gaming. I got my game set for that. I don't think it will, but it might, and that's what I'm gaming for. And so I want Bitcoin to go down. I want Bitcoin to go to 50,000, a little lower. I want that to happen. What else do I want to happen right now? I also, if Bitcoin pumps right now, oh, that's marvelous. That's marvelous. I'm in great shape, right? What happens when my short gets up here to this yellow line? It's about to get liquidated. Well, no, I'll just add a little more money. I had $266 to this short up here towards the liquidation line. And now all of a sudden, the liquidation on my short is well up. What would that be? Probably 80,000 or so, around 80,000, maybe it's a little shy, 80,000 ballpark. And then that short liquidation gets moved way up to 80,000, and this experience with the market, this Bitcoin market. I don't have experience with any other market, Chainlink a little bit, but the Bitcoin market itself. So and then say Bitcoin's just pumping marvelously, right? And we're on our way to 90,000, 100,000. And this long that I have here is just in massive profit at that point. And then the liquidation on my short, it'll be like a $600 short or so, with a liquidation of 80,000. And then what happens when my short is about to get liquidated up at the $80,000 level. And I'm only in for 600. This is just an example. I'm not saying this is what I'm going to do. I'm just saying this is the framework. So I'll stick in $600 up towards the $80,000 level, liquidation level. And that would probably move it up to like, what is that, 84, 85? I don't know exactly. But you know what I'm saying? It's close enough. So now say I got $86,000, and I could easily pump more into that, and because I'm legging in little increments with dry powder. So that short, I could drive the liquidation price is, say to 90, 100,000. But long before that, what's going to happen? There's going to be this, right? it's going to go Bitcoin here, guy. Boom! It's going to be a correction, right? So far, there's been about 18 to 20%. I do think this one we're in now may be a little bigger, but it's nothing to be scared of. Just, if you're stuck in a long, find a way right now to protect. You can protect with a small short. You can expect whatever, protect your liquidation line with just set longs. And I just explained to you how I'm shorting. So if someone's stuck in a long, there's probably lots of people stuck in a long right now. The trick is you always want to have dry powder, right? Never run out of dry powder. So don't ape in, never ape in. Just increment, just roll slow, right? And just see what happens and just kind of roll with the flow. So that short, now say I added, now say I have $2,000 in a short and the liquidation price is at $90,000. Right. And then, of course, the entry price, I didn't mention that. The entry price is going to go up equivalently. So if my entry price will be at about $80,000, and Bitcoin goes up to $80,000, or 85, 90,000, whatever, you know what I'm saying. And the correction comes, right? And my short entry price is way up at 80,000, and the correction comes and it goes under 80,000, maybe a little more, or whatever the level is. Maybe I have my entry price in at 90,000 on that short. Who knows what's going to happen? But I'm just telling this for there'll be plenty of opportunity to take nice profit on that short. And why I'm intentionally letting it go underwater, and why am I letting it go underwater at this exact moment? I've already said it a couple of times. See, I just want people to get some experience, because I never heard this anywhere. I've learned this by myself, because last cycle I kept getting stuck in long positions, right? And I was just a noob, and I didn't know what to do. My only move was just to keep longing, right? What do I do now? Long. It went up. What do I do? Long. It went down. What do I do? Long. So, yeah, right. So, technically, you could kind of say that me shorting right now, this short I have open, you could kind of say it's actually, basically I'm just kind of longing, right? I mean, I'm not, but that short's part of my long position, right? And that's what I've been doing, and it's been working well. You just gotta know what to look for. And my last final move that I didn't really explain was having enough dry powder, and knowing that if something happens, and just I had to feel right. We're up at the top of the green channel. I'm saying it could go to 80,000 or something, because that's what a breakout, but it could come back down. You just don't know. It wasn't confirmed, right? It wasn't out far enough. The daily candles didn't close outside the green channel, and it came crashing back down. And it's just I explained. I almost can't believe when I watch this stuff now. I almost can't believe how well this is working. Right? That like that yellow line. That's just marvelous. I've never seen anyone ever talk about that anywhere. That triangle. Just take both the lines from the triangle and just continue them out in the future. And I just earlier, I mean, there's that first dump hit it right, and that was the support. Also, the blue dotted line, and right now Bitcoin's literally sitting on that yellow line, right? And this is April 14th, and that triangle pattern broke, and people stopped talking about it April 6th. I mean, they still showed it, but like the breakout of that was over April 8th, and now it's almost a full week later, and for the last 3 days, it's been massive in play, right? And this is interesting. So I don't know. This has a chance, probably not, but this channel and the yellow line from the triangle way out here in the future, like it probably not. It's probably gonna go up too high. But say it was like say it was it like 90,000 in June. That's a chance that could be resistance for the all time high. I mean, it's probably not because it's not that great of it's not that big of a pattern. But you never know. This it's kind of going to be too steep. I would imagine, but you never know. You never know. And what else I want to say? I think I explained it. I never talked about the move, final, the final trick I had in store for the quantum computer that I'm playing against. I never told people about that in recent history, recent videos, and I don't think I've ever shown that. But that was it, right? So I was in like a $1,700 10x long, 1,700 here, and I had 1,900, and they wouldn't let me. I wanted to change it to 5, and they wouldn't let me. Send them money, so I went to 5.5. Like I said earlier, I probably could have got 5.2, 5.2, 5.3. It's close enough. And so I had $100 left, $98 left, and so what happened was what I'm in for is 3,103. My size when I did that stayed the same. My size on the $1,700 10x. Oh no, I don't know how to work. How to? I think it was 12,000. I just confused myself. Oh no, it's 1,200. My bad. I was in a $1,200 long, $1,200 10x long, and I added 1,700 to it. I don't know. I just confused myself, but it's not relevant. I'm not sure exactly their formula. It's close, but anyways, you see what happens. I basically doubled. How did that happen? That was so. Anyways, it's a video. Let's not mumble. Anyways, that's it. That's it. I said what I need to say. And what was I going to say? Anyways, yeah, There's no doubt in my mind. Well, I mean, there's of course a doubt. You know, World War III could happen tomorrow, and I don't. I'm not going to fear. Don't let people fear monger you. Right? That's a long way from that situation, folks. In reality, this. I mean, bleh. Um, I think. And so let's see. Oh, what was I gonna say? That's it. I said so much I don't end up saying the same thing over, and probably I know I'm forgetting something, but okay, that's it. This is what I wanted to happen. I just got sloppy. I just got bad entry prices and got out too quick with some nice trades. And if I wouldn't needed dry powder to reduce my long leverage, I would have let that original short run from way up the top, and man, if it had got a 60,000 on that green line down there, that would have been a massive gainer. But yeah, I think I'm about 700 or so ballpark profit in reality, and for just doing it like this over the last week and a half or so, and like I said once or twice, I better end the video because I'm probably gonna start boring people if anyone's even listening. But I do highly recommend. I'll get you one more look at this if you want to freeze the video, or I think you had a chance to do that before. But anyways, I'm like I said, I'm more happy with my analysis that I've developed, my observational technical analysis that I developed. I'm more happy with that than the prospect of making good money. Now that might change if I really start ramping up here, but I'm just very, it looks kind of confusing. I hope you enjoy the fact that I try to take time and go through here. Like I say, next video I make, I'll be worrying about new people listening, and this is just a total cluster of garbage that no one in the world can never have any experience with this and just come in and look at this and go, oh yeah, ding 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 ding. Right? This is the result of 3.5 years, and I took like a year off where I didn't really pay attention, but that first when I had skin in the game in that first cycle, or the last cycle, my first cycle, that really taught me being stuck in leverage longs when there was 40% crashes happening, right? And this is the first one that I've experienced since those days. This is quite a, well, let's see, let's measure this and then I'll end the video. Finally, I will put you out of your misery. You don't have to listen to me ramble anymore. But just, I know how valuable information this is to people that will be around next cycle. And honestly, man, just put, you can have many charts. You can have you have a bunch of different stuff. You have 20 sub accounts on Femex. So, make a bunch of different accounts. And one of those accounts, you don't have no money in it or nothing. You don't have to do nothing. Just chart this exactly. You can see where I've got it. I'll zoom in a little. Because once you get it drawn in there, you can watch it, and then once you start watching it, then that's when you start learning. And I do think what I'm doing here is going to be very valuable. It's just going to be really hard to explain, and I don't want to sit here and to explain it and tell people what to do. I want people that watch my channel, I want you to do your own thing, and you definitely will develop what you're comfortable with, and it'll be a little different, and maybe it's totally different than this, and maybe like Fibonacci, but if you apply Fibonacci to my chart, you will probably see a lot of those key levels are matching up exactly with my support and resistance, and it's all because all my support and resistance is based on past resistance and support of Bitcoin, which was caused by what? Fibonacci. So it's just all in confluence. And there is an aspect, like I said earlier, that I can't fully explain it. It did give me an advantage. I drew a bull flag in here, before March ended. I think I had to go, I haven't go look, but I think it was right in this ballpark. And there, it wasn't. You wouldn't even seen a parallel channel. There is no bull flag there in the first, March 10th to March 31st. The whole last 3 weeks of March, there is no bull flag there. It just goes down and up. It's not a bull flag, but I've just been watching it, and I knew the trick for me that I don't think probably anyone on YouTube will show you. I'm sure there's people out there that see this. I'm not doing anything special. It's just observance. The trick was to identify this one, the bottom. I initially drew, and this is the bottom of the big channel. I didn't initially. I drew them at the same time, but see how it's the top of the candle body, bottom of the candle body, bottom of the wick, bottom of the wick. See that's working, and then it just goes through there, and that's probably why people wouldn't see this as being a channel, because see those two candles there, that don't make no sense. And then look at this, bottom of the candle body, bottom of the candle body, right, and then right there, and that's what people probably didn't see. And then it comes up here, and then this is one data point, and this is basically, this is about three of them, I suppose. But so the top basically has data points at this point confirmed, that's a trend line going down if it's a pattern like a channel. But right, and this is kind of right. See this that way down here, this guy. That's basically a data point for the bottom of the big channel. And if it would have just came down with a little more oomph, boom, there's the third data point for the $12,500 channel. So I'm good with it. I'm good with this being a $12,500 target channel. They will eventually break up sometime, but I do believe we're in for an extended ride down, which is good news if you're longing and good news if you're shorting, and I'm doing both. And we'll see how it goes. And I hope you enjoy the time I took to make this video as my voice goes dry and I need to get to my water. And it looks like Femex has put in, now that I'm talking, looks like Femex has put in a new feature. But see when I put my line here, when I let my cursor still, go over here to the right where you can see way up here at the top right. See that? Wait, go over to the left a little. Let's let it sit still for a minute. It marks. See, I have a long and a short open. And see that? Those numbers don't make no sense. I just have it for an example. You let the cursor sit still for just like a second, and it'll give you, you look over to the left and to the level you're at, and it'll give you, so you don't have to look, you don't have to screw around. Like, so I can see it on the big screen right now. My profit on my long would be $2,000 at way up there, and of course my short would be negative 534. But of course I would have added to it and blah 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 blah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So it sounds stupid, but that short I'm in right now, it's just nibble. I could stuff a bunch of into the short right now, but I'm shorting in anticipation of the price of Bitcoin going up. And if you don't understand what that means, then I wouldn't be trading any real amounts of money. Now you need skin in the game, like I said, to peak enough skin in the game to pique your interest. But if you got a bunch of money, man, don't screw around with leverage. And if you're gonna be a successful trader, then start with $100, $1,000, right? If you're gonna win, you're gonna win. If you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose, right? So that's just how it is. And I always start small. Maybe that's how I developed the system. But right, I'm literally shorting to protect my long. I'm literally shorting because I want the price to go up. Right? I will drive that short. I mean, I could. I'll probably take profit. Pretty quick. If it goes up to 75, at that point I'll see. I'll take profit probably well before that. But my point is I could drive that short. I could drive that short liquidation way up, and it sounds stupid, right? It's just I'm telling you this repeatedly because this time last cycle, well, I wasn't quite in yet, but October 2020 is when I got in, and I went through that whole just it gave me post-traumatic stress disorder, right? From those massive corrections where I sat there for a month, just not knowing what I was doing and trying to just longing to try to drive my liquidation price down. I didn't understand to open a short, dummy, open a short, right? And it just never occurred to me. And like I said, it sounds stupid, right? Earlier I was longing and I wanted the price to go down. Now I didn't want to actually long the top at 10x leverage, but you can see I left that an open possibility that's the mistake I was making. Increment, leg, and leave enough dry powder to drop my. I mean, it was because I was shorting. That's why I turned it short into dry powder because short did make profit, but that was enough to where I could drop the leverage on the long if there was a dump, and the dump came, and I did that before it happened. And it's just that kind of stuff. And I'm just thinking about the people watching this video. If there's people listening right now, right? This could be extremely valuable information. I may be, if there's a brand new person, you've been in this for a month or something, and you just went through heart palpitations. Maybe you just got washed out, right? Because it's been kind of a subtle, kind of a tame little Marcus lately. Maybe you just had a leverage and you just got liquidated for the first time, right? Or maybe you're underwater in the long right now. You better have dry powder because it's probably going down further. And the option, not all the time. You can't just open a short, because you might go to sleep and your short might still be open and your long gets liquidated, and you never take profit on your shorts. So you got to set your buys on your shorts, and you just have to basically have enough experience to grasp every nook and cranny of what could be possibly happening. And when I have a chart like this, and I'm not professional right yet. I do think that could be coming soon, and so I don't know if I have a whole lot more to learn. I can really be better at my entry points and my take profits, but as long as it's good enough, right? It's kind of sloppy, but as long as it's good enough, it's working really well. And so later on this year, if you see me playing with massive amounts of money, just remember, a week or two ago when I started making videos. Now I am pumping some DoorDash money into this regularly. So, like I say, I'm up 700 or something. But, if you see massive money later this year, remember where this is at right now. $3,000. A week or two ago, started like 1,000, and I'm pumping money, dry powder into it constantly. But DoorDash is cool if you want dry powder. If you want to just play with small money, DoorDash, you can go pump out $100 easy in a DoorDash session. I should say Uber Eats and DoorDash, food app delivery. DoorDash, if you're not Top Dasher, you might not be able to log in when you want to, but there's lots of delivery apps if you want cash now every day, and that's a good thing. And all Okay, so in a nutshell, I'm longing because I want the market to go down, and I'm shorting because I want the market to go up, and I'm super excited to see where this is going to go in my future. All right, you still here? What are you guys still doing here? Why are you still watching this video? No, I, I just think if there's one person left now that's found this fascinating, that's been watching for a few videos, and I fast tracked that person through my last 3.5 years of experience, right? I just maybe I just put you on the track to fast track, and I save your ass this cycle, right? Now you need to understand, right? You could totally screw up. You could easily screw up long and short at the same time. So you just have to grasp it, man. And it'll come to you. So stay small and don't trade, man. Don't trade big money. Just go to the spot if you want big money, man. Just maybe I don't know what big money is to you, but if you're using your rent money, just don't. Well, I wouldn't say do that, but if no one can stop you from putting in your next 3 months rent money or whatever, or your savings account, if no one can stop you from doing that right now or doing it in the future, then just put it in a spot market and just know, you know, just let that satisfy you and know that this price could be coming down, another 20%. And all right, I'm out of here. Why are you still here? This video's over a long time ago.